gosh, I really hate to admit this, but it has apparently been 27 days since I've been in this bin. See, this is how it happened that I said before that I became negligent. So this is the theElpyDimension, and I am your guide, Elpy. This is mixed worm bin number 1, my first and favorite bin, and I apparently haven't been in here since the 9th of October. Now, I hope you enjoy the view, because I'm working with a new tripod here. This is where I fed last, and my fruit fly population appears to be out of control. Wow. So, probably, this is about 62 degrees Fahrenheit, so I think that says like 16, 17 degrees Celsius. So not very warm in there. But I know this is where I fed last because it's all sunken down. And I gave them, I don't think I harvested last time, but how am I going to work this thing? So this bin in the last month, 4 to 5 weeks, has been completely harvested. I know last time I did give them a bunch of nice cardboard, and this population has always been a very strong population. Ooh. This is an apple that, shockingly, it's this mushy. I mean, I tried to pick it up and it crumbled, and yet the fact that it's still there a month later is, smells fermented too. It's kind of amazing. So I've been hesitant, if you're watching, person who suggested to me to get mosquito bits. I have to go back and remind me, do you use mosquito bits in your bin? Is that what you said? Because I feel like I've heard mixed results about the safety of using them. Oh no, that's not what it was. I looked it up, and I'm sort of nitpicking the fact that the main brand that I found, Summit, uses the BT bacterium, but they also said that there's insecticidal ingredients in there. And I know they said it's safe for animals and people and fish and everything, but I need to know more about what the insecticide is, because I know that insecticide doesn't necessarily mean chemical. An insecticide is something that kills insects, but I still want to, I don't want to put, I know that I feed my worms in organic food, right? So I know that to claim that my garden or anything is 100% organic would be false, would be inaccurate of me. But I just want to look into it further. That said, I got to do something different with these fruit flies, because okay, so obviously I'm just sort of I'm not even doing my usual digging in. I'm kind of stunned by how long it's been. Look at this pepper. It's like not even trying to break down. Here's a tomato. Yeah, so this is really strange to me that there's any material left in that tomato. You know, tomato skins always stick around. And I don't know how well you can see. I like the idea of a tripod. However, it doesn't give me as much ease to like move in. You know, if I wanted to go at it with 2 hands, then I'm sorry for that. Then I'm good to go, but with my phone, I can get in here more. I'm going to go ahead and just keep going with this though. So this is new material that we put in with our feeding last time. There's some worms in there. And I mixed it all around the newest bedding. You know, maybe I'll figure it out better another time, but I'm not using the way this is positioned. I gotta like lean around it and the tripod, so we're not doing the tripod today. Yeah, so I'm seeing lots of worms, but you know, this bin is always really, really well populated. No bad smells. Prior to when I had this corner was all I needed to harvest. Because if you don't recall or if you don't know, I had harvested this side. It's probably a couple months ago now. And then I usually harvest half and then the other half. Well, I had wanted to add, I had new shredded material and I had wanted to add more. So I did what I don't normally do, which was I just pushed the castings over into this corner and added new material there. So what I had left to harvest was just this corner. And I did that, and I believe I added a bunch of cardboard, packaging cardboard, wet packaging cardboard. And I had mixed everybody up. And at the time, prior to and when I harvested these castings, they did have a very sulfur, sort of rotten egg smell to them. But I'm not getting any of that now as we would expect. So yeah, here's some of that packaging cardboard. So I don't expect any worm parties because it's been a month, which is insane. And prior to that, the population looked great. We have breeding cocoons, which I have seen cocoons digging in here. But again, the fact that the only thing, I don't know if the worms are avoiding the fruit flies or I don't know, but I mean, apples do take a really long time to break down. They are a long-term food item. But that apple was ready. That being said, I have the apples I've been putting in lately. I've noticed that the worms just aren't as interested in the apples. I thought it was just the other bins because I've had worms in the apples and I don't know, it's a strange thing. So digging down to the bottom there, we see a lot of worms as usual in this bin. Oh, sorry guys. There's some breeding worms right there. So I know that's only one pair, but it says something that they are breeding. And, you know, I just can't say it enough. It does not, I never get over how quickly worms can work. I mean, to me, I know it does take months, but even just looking at this, I already get a sense of the final product. You know, the castings, like, this doesn't look like a bunch of paper that needs to be recycled to me anymore. You know, this doesn't look like food scraps. This looks like, what is this? So, you know, it was probably a week ago I promised an individual, and I feel really bad, asked me if I could do a video about the difference between reds and blues, red worms and blue worms. And I said, sure, I'll do it tonight. And then I didn't. I said, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. And then I didn't. And I actually did make a video, but I haven't published it. And now that I'm in here, I'm seeing more worms that have more obvious clitellums than the other bin I was in. Now, full transparency. When I was in the other bin 2 last time, I'm going to have to hold this up to my face closer. I saw a couple of worms that looked to me like evidence of protein poisoning. It's where their body looks like they get too much protein. I forget exactly what happens. I'll have to look it up and explain it in another video. I had it happen early on when I first started keeping worms. And they'll be, I believe I've heard it described as string of pearls. And their body will look like cinched off in certain spots. And this guy kind of had that look. And I saw a couple in bin number 2 that also had that look. So I need to research that because it's not something that ever since that happened 4 or 5 years ago, I've not had to deal with that anymore. Or I've never faced that since then. So lots of worms. And I think it's fair to say she's well known in the worm community. She's a reputable seller. She's successful. So I'm going to put that in the description to go check that out. And watching her video, you know, I've always believed I have, because I did have European night crawlers and red wigglers and blue worms. There's a cocoon. However, really the biggest difference from watching her video that there is between reds and blues, it would appear, is their size. And I'm like, that leads me to believe that maybe I don't even have European night crawlers anymore. Maybe all I have are red wigglers and blue worms. So that would be interesting. But I know also that worms, you know, they just might not get as big. But yeah, I guess it's possible that I only have reds and blues now. And I mean, that wouldn't be terrible, but that would also tell me that, okay, so my European night crawlers weren't able to survive. As expected, my battery is dying. You know, I got down here, and by the way, today in the U.S., did I even say what today is? November 5th, 2024. It is our election day, and I hope that you vote if that feels right to you. And I just want everyone to know that whoever you voted for, if you didn't vote, I hope we all remember that we have a shared humanity, and that whatever the outcome, we're all in this together. We live on this earth together, and we will not succeed if we don't work together. Doesn't mean we have to agree on everything, doesn't mean we have to do everything the same, but we do have to work together. We do have to find common ground, and we do have to want better for ourselves and for each other. And yeah, I'm just praying for everybody. You know, I'm praying for the world. I'm praying for the future. And that's how it goes. All right. Let's do some feeding. I have a bucket that's been waiting for me, which is not good in terms of fruit flies. See, now I'm all caught in here. Now I see where the tripod would be useful, which would be in this part of the process. And I'm going to have to go outside and get the plant matter that I've been collecting. But, so we got some wet packing cardboard. It's been wet for some time, actually. That is from one of my Leelanau Sweet Glow watermelons that was not ripe. It was edible, but it has a lot of seeds. It wasn't ripe. Partially ripe, it wasn't fully ripe. All right. Then we got some arugula and why is this in there? This is a Jimmy Nardello pepper. Why are you in there? I think this was in here accidentally, but it's been in there long enough that I'm not eating it. That sucks. Okay. And today I've decided, we also have a radish. This is a wasabi radish. That's it. That's not a big feeding for these guys, but that's what they're gonna get. Actually, this is a yellow. So I found at the store, I always see the red ones, but never the yellow dragon fruit skins. This was delicious. Way better than the red ones. And we'll do a moldy half a grapefruit. Okay. So I'm also going to add a little bit of my dry mix. It's got some macronutrients, micronutrients, minerals. It doesn't really function as a pest control, even though it has those type of ingredients. I'm going to put some more new material on top and then cover it up. Also, we're adding, I came across a tree, a pine tree that had split. And the wood was pretty dry. So I decided to collect some of it and add it to my bins. Now this shredded paper I don't normally use. It's kind of sour. I do normally use shredded paper. I don't like to use stuff that's sat for a while, but I am. Hopefully I don't. Anyways. Okay. We will cover that up further. Well, sorry guys, it took me so dang long. This is after 27 days. Nothing exciting. Still lots of worms, pretty slow moving. The material felt fine. It wasn't too dry, wasn't too wet. There were no bad smells. Yeah, a little bit surprised about the apple, which is right here on top and is not good. Oh, what I'm going to do, that's right, is... and also, I'm very impressed with how this material is coming along. I'm going to go outside and get some organic matter, plant matter. We're going to layer this with that. And then I'll put the cardboard blanket back on. I would like to try, as someone recommended to me, bubble wrap, which I've definitely seen people do. I've never thought to do it. But I've heard the blues like it. I might go ahead and do it in my blue worm bin, which I think I'll take upstairs to go through and do the blue worm count, which, oh man, I've been really bad. Okay, let me go get this stuff. Okay, so I almost forgot. It is this time of year, and I put aside a bucket with some semi-mulched dead leaves. My leaf blower doubles as a leaf mulcher. And we've had a little bit of rain, but these are more dry than not, which I'm not going to worry about right now. And I think this is all the better than adding green organic matter, because I do believe that protein poisoning, which I just saw that one worm that looked like maybe it had a tiny bit of a cinched area. It was near its clitellum. I don't know if that has anything to do also with their, when they release a cocoon, but protein poisoning, I do believe, is a result of like too much nitrogen, maybe. Again, I'm going to have to look that up. But, yay. All right. So this is a source of carbon, not nitrogen. This has been mixed worm bin number 1 on the 5th of November, 2024. 27 days since the last feeding. You know, I remember when I started sharing a couple months ago when I started, maybe it's been 3 months now. Almost 3 months ago when I started sharing my worm videos on my YouTube channel regularly, that I said that doing it for my channel was going to help me be consistent. It did. And then, you know, life be lifing, as they say. But here's to getting back on track. All right. Now I'm going to go plug up my phone and we're going to move on to the blue worm bin next. I said I was going to count them on the 18th, around the 18th of October. Obviously, I did not. And, but I think I'm going to do that now. Thank you so much for your time and your interest. I appreciate you. Be safe, be well, and remember, we're all in this together. No matter how much we disagree, we're all on the same planet. So let's be kind to each other, and let's be cool humans, man. Okay. Bye for now.